Once upon a time, there were 3 billy goats, bah, who were to go up the hillside to make themselves fat. The name of all 3 was Gruff. On their way up, they had to cross a bridge, but underneath the bridge lived a great, big, ugly roar. Who dares approach my bridge? Oh my gosh, it's a troll! I assume we have to answer your questions. 3 gay! Oh. You're an internet troll. I've heard of these. They feed off negative reactions. We don't want any trouble, good sir. We were just gay people celebrate 9/11 like it's their birthday. Now, wait a second. That's ridiculous. That doesn't even make any 9/11 is like Christmas for gay people once upon a time. You and your kind lived underneath bridges, had ridges for ribs that dropped into empty chests as if your heart were stolen treasure. As if an excavation crew were hired to dig up and remove the only part of you that let you feel. And while the world above invented the wheel, you stayed put. While we could easily dismiss internet trolls as merely frustrated virgins, the power they wield has unfortunately seeped into our offline realities, increasingly the most unprotected victim of their attacks, female writers. In 2020, a survey by the International Center of Journalism found that 73% of female journalists reported being harassed online, and a shocking 1 out of 4 of these females reported being attacked in real life. And their attacks consisted with the online harassment they received. The reason is painfully clear. Women who share their voices are seen as threats. With the prose Why We're Losing the Internet to a Culture of Hate by Jill Stein, the Norwegian fairy tale Billy Goat Scruff, poetry, Trolls by Shinko Zon, the dramas Ask Not For Whom the Bell Trolls For It Trolls For Thee by Lindy West, What Lurks in the Shadow by Jermaine Clement, and The Internet Bridge Troll by College Humor. A program. Let's slay some trolls. One of the best way to drain people's energy nowadays is via the internet. Look here, this woman, astrophysicist. Actually, that's not how space works. Read a book. Now, we wait for the comments to roll in. Can you mansplain a little louder? Why, yes. Yes, I can. When they call you a dumbass, you know you got them. Ding! They called me a dumbass! As a female writer, I'm accustomed to online harassment. It was this midsummer afternoon when I received a text message from my Dad. The account was called Paul West Dunzo. Paul West because his name was Paul West and Dunzo. I guess after fighting months, a battle against cancer before it. Yeah. I guess he was done. Conventional wisdom states do not feed the troll because it's what they want. I do that, but nothing happens. So I decide to do the one thing you're not supposed to do. I fed the troll. You brood over humanity and made meals of our hope, as if crushing our spirits would make your mirrors cast better reflections than the ones they gave, as if the only way to save yourself was to make the world ugly, so no one would notice you hiding in it. You learned to knit pain into some sort of camouflage, turned hope into a mirage to lure in your next meal. You lived off our fear as if you could taste what we felt, and every night as the moonlight read bedtime stories to the sunlight, you took darkness as an invite to head into our world. This morning, I woke up to a rape and death threat directed at my 5-year-old child. This is the one thing I hate about my job. I shouldn't have to fear for my 5-year-old's life. And I am sick of saying how scared I am, and I am sick of nothing being done. But you know what gives me hope? The fact that we, female writers, are not going to stop using our online tools just because some misogynist is too afraid of our opinions. Hi, Mr. Troll. I'm a Scientologist, so I think Michelle Obama's a big feminist witch. Yeah, would you like to get a cup of coffee with me? I know how hard it must be to live in your middle-class cave with your lawyer troll parents working all day. Yes, I could use a friend. Wait, do you mean that, like, seriously, but no hints of snark whatsoever? Yes, I hate you! You turned your hate into stones and hurled them at beauties like one-way barbed wire's not meant to keep us out, but to keep us in. Your voice, like a firing pin, spoke in explosions. It isn't cute. It isn't funny. You talked strangers into death and laughed. And as each family learns to graft skin over the wounds you gave them, you hem yourself into their scars. You coaxed the sober back into bars, handed out cigars at memorials, offered pills, nausea, and cliffs to those who unfortunately found you before they found help. You praised suffering, waltzed into tragedies, gracefully dipping misery. As if we'd somehow be impressed with the dexterity of your animosity. I was talking with my troll for over 2 hours. I was trying to get him to walk me through his whole transgression, the actual physical and mental steps he took to justify it all to himself. How did you find out he died? I Google searched you. I found you had a father who had recently passed away. Did you read his obituary? I believe I did. He was a musician, right? His name was... Paul. His name was Paul West. I'm truly sorry about this. Have you ever lost someone? Can you imagine, can you honestly imagine it? You see, I get abused all day because it's part of my job, but this was the meanest thing anyone has ever done to me, and it was just fresh. He had just died a few days ago, and you... But you are also the first troll to apologize. Not just to me. I never heard of anyone receiving an apology before. And I don't know what to say except thank you. We are stuck with you, the same way you are stuck with you. And we were once upon a time told none of you existed as we brushed you off as make-believe and myth. But now, armed only with resolve, we can no longer afford to tell ourselves that you aren't real.